Welcome back to the Blissful Biz podcast. My name is Susanna. I'm your host, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm just sitting at my desk in my little home office in Mallorca. And I don't know, the weather has been so great the last weeks. I've been on lots and lots and lots of long walks with my dog, which is so nice to do now in winter when it's not as hot as it's going to be in a few months. And yeah, so for me, that's always time to think and to reflect. And I thought it would be time to record another episode where I'm really sharing my thoughts and insights about strategies that I see working today that I'm using in my business in 2025. When I started my business back in 2016, oh my God, I can't believe it's this long ago, nearly 10 years now, helping yoga teachers build their online presence. Everything was different. I remember working with my first clients on launching their online courses, and the reception was incredible. Back then in 2017, 2018, just putting your yoga offerings online made you stand out. People were curious, and selling was, well, easy, or at least easier than it feels today. Then came 2020 and the pandemic, which pushed every yoga teacher online practically overnight. The market exploded. Everyone was teaching virtual classes, creating courses, building communities. And there was a big audience ready for it, waiting for it, because everybody spent all their time behind their computers all day long. But now, let's face it, in 2025, the landscape has completely transformed and not necessarily in a bad way. The market has matured, become more sophisticated. In this episode, I want to share what strategies I see actually working now for yoga teachers and wellness entrepreneurs who want to build profitable online businesses. I'm Susanna Reicher, digital marketing expert with over 20 years of experience, turned yoga teacher, turned six-figure online business owner. 10 years ago, I flew to Bali for a yoga teacher training, fell in love with the island, and decided to build an online business so I could live there. Can't be that hard, right? That decision launched me into an adventure bigger than I'd ever imagined. Over the last 8 years, I've guided over 1,000 yoga teachers and heart-led coaches how to launch and sell their digital offers, build their brand and websites, and build a profitable online business. In this podcast, I share real proven strategies and the exact steps that work. Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, we'll dive into everything from creating offers your students can't resist to making digital marketing work for you. If you're ready to build a business that brings both freedom and success, you are in the right place. One of the most significant shifts I've observed is in market positioning. It's micro niching. Here's something we need to talk about. The difference between running a local business and building an online business in 2025. When you are a local yoga teacher, for example, your location is your niche. Being the yoga teacher in your neighborhood or even the only prenatal yoga teacher in your city naturally sets you apart. Your physical presence and local community connections, they create natural boundaries and opportunities. Here, you really don't need to specialize further because geography does the work for you. But the online space, that's where everything changes. I see many teachers struggle with this transition because they're looking at established yoga brands, the ones who've been building their online presence for 5, 10, 15 years. These teachers now might offer everything from vinyasa to meditation to teacher training. And yes, they can succeed with a broader approach because they've built their authority over years. But starting an online yoga business in 2025 is different. You're entering a mature market where general yoga content is abundantly available. This is why micro-niching isn't just a marketing strategy. I really think it's a necessity for new online business owners. Or even if you've been building your online business for a while, but it's not really where you want it to be, it might be worth it to think about your niche and if you can niche down further. When you're competing globally, being a yoga teacher who also does prenatal just isn't enough anymore. The market demands specialists. And this is actually great news. While the general yoga space or online space is quite saturated, there are countless untapped micro niches waiting for the right teacher to claim them. This is where the real opportunities lie in 2025, not in competing with established brands in the general yoga space, but in becoming the go-to expert for your specific audience. I want to address something that might be coming up for you right now. That fear of niching down. I hear it all the time, but I don't want to limit myself. I have so much to offer. What if I get bored teaching just one thing? Well, first, it's not a lifetime commitment. Think of it as your entry point, your fastest path to building momentum online. Think about it. I mean, Amazon just sold books in the beginning. Google was just a search engine. Your niche will evolve as you grow, as your audience grows, as you discover new passions and opportunities. Oh my God, my niche evolved back, Just look at my business. It's not a box you put yourself into. Every successful online business I know looks different today than when it started. And starting with a micro niche is like using a magnifying glass to start a fire. You focus all of your energy on one specific point until it ignites. Once you've built that initial momentum, you can expand naturally. But trying to be everything to everyone from day one, that's like trying to start a fire with scattered sunlight. If you stay with me for that example. I am really passionate about this. I'm seeing so much potential for practical, focused niches right now. Like, for example, yoga for runners focusing on injury prevention and performance, or yoga for desk workers with chronic back pain, or restorative yoga for people recovering from burnout, or yoga for strength athletes looking to improve mobility. Teachers often worry about turning people away, and I get that. But I've seen the opposite happen. When you speak directly to a specific audience, you become magnetic to them. Your content resonates more deeply, your offers convert better, your impact grows stronger. And from this strong foundation, that's when you can start expanding, evolving, exploring new directions. But first, the first step, you need to ignite that fire. And once you've identified your micro niche, the next step is building your offer suite. What are you going to sell? Here's where many get stuck. They start by creating massive flagship programs. This is also what I used to teach, full honesty here, right? Because I saw such huge success from focusing on selling just one premium program back in 2021, 2022. But in 2025, I'm using a different approach. I completely changed my strategy following what I've seen working and what I've seen stopping working or stopped working. Trying to sell my high ticket program to a cold audience, people who just met me, became nearly impossible. There are various reasons for this. People are more jaded, maybe, they are definitely more busy, and it takes longer to gain trust. Which is why I now recommend that you start with what I call an ignition offer, a low ticket product that solves one specific problem for your specific niche. This isn't about undervaluing your expertise and giving things away for little or no money. It's about creating an easy entry point that converts your followers into buyers. There's a fundamental difference between an audience that consumes your free content, like your free trainings, your freebies, your lead magnets. People sign up for that, and we know that ourselves. How often do you sign up for something and then you don't even open the email? Because we don't value it in the same way, you know? So when we pay for something, it's a difference. So there's a difference here between the audience who just downloads a freebie and an audience that's willing to invest in their transformation. When someone makes even a small purchase, something shifts. They become more committed, more engaged, more likely to implement what they learn. And most importantly, they experience your teaching style and the results you can deliver. But it doesn't end here. Your low ticket product isn't your end goal. From here, you build an aligned suite of offers that guides these engaged students toward deeper work. Each offer should naturally lead to the next, creating a clear pathway for transformation. Your low ticket offer introduces them to your approach. Your core program deepens their practice. And your premium offer provides more personalized support and advanced training. For example, I have a low ticket offer, Low Ticket Mojo, where I teach you how to create your own low ticket offer. I have an order bump that's email templates for your upsell email sequence, so you can sell people your more premium offers. I have an upsell that's a live Facebook ads workshop. And I have my own upsell email sequence where I invite my new students who purchase my low ticket program into my signature program, the more premium program, Blissful Biz Academy. I think this strategy is particularly powerful in today's mature market. Instead of competing with endless free content or trying to convince cold audiences to invest in high ticket programs, you're building a community of buyers who understand your value. You're creating proof of concept at a lower risk for both you and your students. Think of it as a relationship. Free content is like following someone on social media. A low ticket offer is like a first date, a chance to experience real connection without massive commitment. And your premium offers, they're for the students who know they want to go deeper with you, who've experienced your teaching and who are ready for more. And this works for all kind of niches. As a yoga teacher, you could start with accessible entry points. Think a $37 meditation challenge or a morning ritual program, and then you guide your students through a natural progression to higher ticket offerings. And if you want to learn more from me how to create your aligned offer suite from low ticket offers to high ticket programs with my support, you should join us inside the Blissful Biz Academy where we guide you through it all. You can learn more when you go to my website, SusanneReicher.com/Blissful Biz Academy. You'll also find the link in the show notes. You can also reach out to me via email or on Instagram or inside school, and we can have a conversation about if the Blissful Biz Academy is the right fit for you right now. Moving on, strategy number 3 is I see more and more people focusing on long-form content. I think we're all a bit tired of short 5-second reels and all that noise on social media. And for things that we spend hours to create to disappear after 48 hours to never be looked at again. I actually never focused on social media alone in my business. I started my blog in 2016 and my podcast in 2020 and have been creating long form content every week, mostly every week since then. And while I don't think long form content ever went away, I'm seeing a significant shift in how successful businesses approach content creation. And I'm not against social media. Social media has its place. It's great for visibility and connection. But here's the reality. You're building on rented land. One algorithm change, one platform shift, and your reach can disappear overnight. And you know how it is. Your posts reach just a fraction of your hard-built audience anyway. This is where long-form content becomes your secret weapon. Whether it's detailed blog posts, in-depth YouTube videos, or podcast episodes, long-form content gives you something that short-form can never provide: longevity and authority. When you create a thorough, valuable piece of content that addresses your niche's specific challenges, it continues working for you month after month, year after year. Think about it. A well-crafted blog post or YouTube video can rank in search results for years, continuously bringing new students into your world. It's not about going viral. It's about creating lasting assets that establish your expertise and attract your ideal students over time. I think we're also all craving more depth, more real value when we look for content. I mean, there are the reels and stories that are mostly entertaining, and we all, I know that when you just happen to scroll mindlessly through your Instagram feed or through the reels and you see like puppies and people dancing, and it's just fun. But very often, and this is not the content that you want to share. You don't want to be an influencer. That's not your business model. So why do you want to compete with that? There's content that we look for when we want an answer to a problem or want to learn how to do something. And, do you go to Instagram for that? Probably not. Do you think your students do? Instagram now introduced 3-minute reels, which is going in that direction to share content that has more depth. But here again, you have the problem that there's no longevity. Nobody's going to look at it 1 week from today, and that's such a shame, especially when you take a lot of time and effort to create that content. If you focus on social media for content creation, I would invite you to repurpose your content. Post it again 3 months from now. If something worked or got a lot of views, reshare it. If it worked once, I want you to reuse it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every week and be super original all the time. It's so tiring. And it's not necessary. Or even better, when you create a 3-minute reel, download it, edit it, and upload it to YouTube and write a blog post where you embed that video. And voila, now you have a piece of content that can get discovered year after year after year. So I'm not against using social media, but I think the real magic happens when you combine both approaches. Use social media for connection and conversation, but always guide people back to your long-form content. This is where you can dive deep into topics like I'm doing here in this episode. You can showcase your expertise and truly serve your audience. Your social media then becomes a distribution network for your valuable long form pieces rather than your primary content platform. In 2025, this approach is more powerful than ever. While others are exhausting themselves trying to keep up with daily social media demands, the smart business owners are creating evergreen content assets that build real authority in their niche. This is also what I'm teaching you inside my program Flow, how to create long-form content that sells your offers on autopilot. You can learn more about it also on my website, susannereiker.com/flow. That's SUSANNEReiker.com/FLOW. Now let's talk about something that's transforming how we run online businesses in 2025. AI, artificial intelligence, or ChatGPT, Claude, others tools. I know there's a lot of hype and fear around AI. But what I'm seeing in the most successful online businesses is a practical, strategic approach to using these tools. Remember when everyone started using ChatGPT to write their social media posts and things? Suddenly, every yoga teacher's Instagram feed started sounding exactly the same, these perfectly polished, oddly similar captions that read like they were written by the same person. Because they were. Here's what we learned. People can spot AI-generated content from a mile away, and they don't like it. They don't want to read generic AI-crafted captions about finding your inner peace or embracing your authentic self. They want to hear your real voice, your actual thoughts, your genuine experiences. This doesn't mean AI has no place in your business, but we need to be smarter about how we use it. Instead of letting AI be the voice of my business, I now use it as a behind the scenes assistant and copywriter, and sometimes as a brainstorming buddy. I use AI to help me analyze data like survey results, to brainstorm ideas for new offers, and yes, also for content creation, like for this podcast episode. But I don't just let it write stuff. For example, with this episode, I start with my input. So I just put it on paper. What do I want to talk about? What should be the talking points? Then I use AI to structure my ramblings, and then I go through it section by section. But where AI really shines is in using it to repurpose and to repackage. When I recorded my podcast episode, I use AI to write the blog post, the show notes, the newsletter, the social media post, and this saves me so much time. The trick with AI is to find this balance, using AI to handle the operational heavy lifting while keeping your content, your teaching, and your community engagement deeply human and personal. Your voice, your experiences, your unique way of teaching. That's what your students connect with. And that's what builds trust. That's what turns followers into students. No AI can replicate that, and we shouldn't want it to. But what really excites me is how AI is leveling the playing field. You don't need a huge team anymore to create a professional, scalable business. You don't need to be the perfect copywriter or really great in writing English when that's not your first language and you run your business in English. The tools available now can help you create marketing materials, but also prepare your classes and sequences and generate personalized practice recommendations, tasks that used to require multiple team members. And the result is that you have more time for actual teaching and serving your clients and connecting with your students, and more time to create meaningful content, and more time to scale your impact without sacrificing the personal touch that makes your teaching special. AI has truly revolutionized how we scale our marketing efforts, and it's not going anywhere. I'm infusing my offers with it, and I add prompts and how to utilize AI in what I teach. So, for example, when it comes to brainstorming ideas for your niche, your offer suite, your messaging, AI is amazing. It's so helpful. It's incredible what it comes up with. And I'm actually working on an update for my Find Your Niche course where I share all this with you. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Okay, so those are the marketing strategies yoga teachers should know in 2025. There are more. I could keep on talking, but maybe I save that for another episode. When I look at where we are in 2025, I get really excited about what's possible for yoga teachers and wellness entrepreneurs online. The industry has grown up, and that's a good thing. We are past the days of just posting random classes online and hoping students will come. Now we're building profitable, sustainable online businesses that make sense, both for us and our students. I love seeing teachers take these ideas we talked about today and make them their own, finding that specific group of students who really need what you offer, creating programs that start small and guide people toward deeper work, making content that works for you long term instead of chasing social media. And yes, using AI to help with the boring stuff while keeping your teaching and what you share real and personal. When you put all of this together, you can build something that lasts, a business that feels true to who you are, helps your students transform, and supports you financially, which is also really important. And that's what makes me so optimistic about where we are heading. I'd love to hear what clicked for you in this episode. What idea sparked something? What questions do you have? Drop me a message. You'll find me on Instagram or email me and let me know. Until next time, keep sharing your unique gifts, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Blissful Biz podcast. If you found this helpful, I'd love it if you hit subscribe and left a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps other yoga teachers and coaches find these strategies too, and it would mean the world to me. It really makes a difference. And if you're ready to take the next step, head over to my website, susannereiker.com, where you'll find my free resources, latest blog posts, and all the ways we can work together to grow your online business. Until next week, keep building your blissful biz.